But look at all those worms. Hey everyone, Budget Prepper here. I'm going to do a series of videos on vermicomposting, or basically worm farming is what it is. What I have here in front of me, this is basically a pound of worms I just ordered from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. This is just how they came out of the box. I ordered them on June 5th and they arrived June 8th, so that was, I believe, all the way from Pennsylvania, so that's pretty quick. I like the shipping on that. But anyway, they come just like this in this cloth bag. Let's see if we can see down in there and see how they did. I don't know if you can see that. I can see a few wiggling around in there. It looks like they're fairly lively. They're in some kind of compost to keep them probably from drying out. But anyway, I ordered these on, like I said, June 5th. I also ordered a worm cafe is what it's called. It's from a company named Tumbleweed out of Australia. Ordered all this from Amazon, and I was hoping that the the worm cafe would get here a little quicker than the worms, but it didn't work out that way. So I'm going to have to find a temporary place to put these. And anyway, I'm going to do a series of videos on this whole process and setting it up, and then when the actual worm composting bin comes in, the worm cafe comes in, I'll show you how to set that up and what the process I use to get everything going. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is the actual Tumbleweed worm cafe that I ordered. It's plastic. It's got a little spigot here on the side. I don't know if you can see this spigot here on the side where you drain the worm tea. That's the liquid that processes down through the trays as you water your worms, and that stuff is amazing for plants, they say. And then the worm castings that collect down in the lower trays, that's also amazing for your plants. That's the whole reason I got this, is to do what's called vermicomposting, and that's it's just amazing. It's just got so many nutrients in it, and plants just go crazy once you use it, I've heard. So I'm gonna try it out and see what everybody's talking about. But it comes about like that. That's the packaging. That's some of the worm castings shown in one of the trays that I hope to get soon. They say it takes 3 to 6 months to get the initial tray full of castings, which isn't too bad. Like I said, it has a spigot to drain out the worm tea on the side. And when you wash it, when you put 5 liters of water through this supposedly once a week, and you collect that worm tea, and you can dilute it even further, and it's just amazing for plants. You feed the worms basically kitchen scraps. You can feed them newspaper, cardboard, they'll eat just about anything. And they got to have some eggshell or some other things like that to, kind of like birds, they have a craw, and so they need that grit in their craw or gizzard, whatever you want to call it, and then that helps them process whatever they eat. And so the better grit they have, the faster they're going to process and make those castings. That's a side view of the lady standing next to it. Gives you an idea of kind of the size of the unit. It comes with, go back to that main picture, it comes with ventilated collector trays with a mound in the bottom so that if a worm gets into the bottom where the liquid is, they can climb back up and get out. It's got 3 trays, so you can have you start with one working tray, and as they fill that up, then you go to the next one, you put food in, and they climb up to it, and then you can clean out the bottom one once the worms have all climbed up. And it's got ventilation holes in the corners, and very good design. I've heard very good things about it from a few people, so I'm going to give it a shot. And like I said, I'm going to do a series of videos and kind of show you the whole process I go through to get this thing going. Here's another item I ordered that hasn't come in yet, and this is a worm blanket, and it's made by the same people that made the worm cafe. And it goes into the bin on top. Once you put the food in, it goes into the bin on top of everything, and it helps keep the moisture in the bed, and it covers it up, helps keep it dark. And so I got that as well. And it's made out of jute, so the worms will probably eventually eat it, but that's okay. That's what it's made for. Here's another item I ordered when I ordered the worm cafe. It's made by the same people, and it's Tumbleweed. And what it is it's a conditioner basically. It helps control the pH in your worm farm, and you're supposed to sprinkle a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending on the size of your worm farm, across the top of the surface once a week. And what that does is it helps balance the pH, and that's important for your worms. You won't want it too acidic, and I guess it helps control pests because you keep the pH neutral. Maybe it helps keep mites and such from growing inside of your worm farm. Here's another thing I ordered. It's coconut coir, and this is made out of the outer husk of a coconut. And what they do is they grind it down real fine, and then they compress it into these bricks. And to use it, you go out take it into a bucket, and you fill put some water in there, and you put it in there, and it expands several times the size of this brick. But this is an excellent bedding material for earthworms. In fact, or red wigglers or whatever you get for your worm farm. In fact, the Worm Cafe comes with it, and I just got this to have on hand when I need to replenish it. But sure glad I got it since the Worm Cafe didn't come in, and I can use this in the temporary bed, the worm bin, until the... Okay, here's the coconut coir as it's dissolving. I may have put too much water in it, but anyway, it comes like a really good compost material. I just put 3 bricks in here. I put one in about 5 minutes ago and it's already gone. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drain off all this excess water. And then for the temporary bin, what I got is just a Rubbermaid tote. And I'm going to cover the bottom with that, and I'm going to put the worms in there. And you probably should put some air holes in there if you're going to use this long term, but I'm going to kind of leave the lid a little bit off of it and put it in a safe, cool place in my garage probably, and that'll be good. Okay, the water's just almost drained off of the coconut coir. Give it a few more minutes, and it'll be ready to put into the bin. I don't know if this is going to help or not, but what I did is I put several layers of newspaper in the bottom of this bin, and I'm hoping that it'll help me lift out all that coconut coir and worms when the Worm Cafe comes in, and help me transfer the stuff a little easier. Maybe I can get someone to help grab a couple corners and we can get it out of there easy. Okay, the water's all drained. Let's see what we got. Wow. That's just 3 bricks. Carry over the sun. You can see it's kind of like dirt, but it's going to hold that moisture well, and I think the worms will love this. So I'm going to get into the bin now. Oops. Okay, I got all the coconut coir into the bin, and like I said, that's only 3 of those bricks, and it put about 2 to 3 inches across the bottom of this entire container, so that stuff really goes far. Okay, it's time to put the worms in. See if I can do this one-handed. Wow, look at them go. Look at the dirt thrive. Worms are still very active. I'm impressed. They came a long way, and they're all very still lively, and it's a hot part of the summer right here right now. Wow, look at them. That's 1,000 worms, they say, in a pound of worms. So about $25 for that. And I hope I have enough space here to tie them over till I get that Worm Cafe in. But look at all those worms. Roughly 1,000. So what you're supposed to do when you get your cafe in, according to the instructions, I was able to find the directions or instructions for the Worm Cafe online and download them and read them ahead of time. But once that comes in, what you're supposed to do is you put them in the coconut coir and spread them out on top evenly, which I did just now. And you let them set for 1 or 2 days, and I guess that lets them bury themselves and acclimate to the environment. And you're not supposed to feed them for the first day or 2. And I guess they can munch on that coconut coir if they really get hungry. But anyway, I hope that's moist enough for them. If it feels dry, I'll check on them a little later and add some water to the bin, but I don't want to add too much since there's no drainage on this. Anyway, I'm really impressed with all those worms. Get a little closer, maybe you can see them. Yeah. They're burying quick. I mean, they've only been there a few minutes and they're already hiding themselves. They like it dark, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on and stick them out in the garage and check on them a little later. And when the other stuff comes in, I'm going to make more videos and show you exactly how I set everything up. Thanks for watching.